Hello and welcome to my tag of the day. I am using the Tim Holtz Mixed Media tags and Distress Oxide. I have pumice stone and hickory smoke. I am doing an all over background, blending the colors of the two shades of gray. Then I'm going to spritz some water and dab it off and just use a towel and take off the excess. It leaves a little bit of a speckling mark. Repeated it for a bolder color, adding more of the hickory smoke, Distress Oxide, more water, another dab, and another dry. Once dry, I'm using just the script ledger stamp set with some black archival just to add a little bit of interest to the background. And I'm going to use a distress spray with a stencil today. I'm going to use a leftover ink on another tag. Just going to place it over, rub it. It does give you the opposite image, but I'm just going to save it for another tag for later. Back to the original tag, pulling out the worn wallpaper scraps, pieces from Tim Holtz and PaperDolls. I really do love those flowers. They're very vibrant in color, so they look great against the brown. Deciding which couple I want to use on which tag, popping out the extra little die pieces on the inside. Trying to decide if that works, if I trim it, changing my mind, which if you've watched my videos, I do often. I'm going to grab out a couple tags to layer on the background. Add some distress to it before I place it down and see how they line up. I did add a little distress to the inside of the tag because it was a little too white. There is a small pattern on that paper. You can't really tell from the video, but there is a pattern. Just add a little distress to the flower on the white edge. Glue that down. And double check the placement. I want to make sure I anchor my PaperDolls so it doesn't look like she's standing on nothing. So that's what the large tag is for on the bottom. I'm adding a little yellow in between so you can see it in between the two people. Place it down, give it a good push to get a good set, and then trim off the extra pieces. I'm going to use the Small Talk sticker strips from Tim Holtz. I'm going to stick it up on the top. I do tend to grab for long ones, so I just trim them down and make them fit. Once they're down, I decide I want to add some color around just the words. So I grab the Vintage Photo watercolor pencil and just outline it, outline the sticker, add a little bit of water to blend it. And then I also go around the label. I wanted it to be a little bit darker. And then it also pulls in that watercolor look that's going around. And there you go, one tag. Now we have the second tag, which is a bonus. Using the same supplies, same ink. Just going with the pumice stone, which is a little lighter, to fill in just the blank spots on the tag, going all the way around. Make sure you move your tag and don't tweak your arm. Set placement and decide where they're going to go. go. Since I had my pencils out, I decided I was going to color in their dresses, trying watercolor pencils. This is the first time I'm trying this technique with watercolor pencils. I generally use the crayons. So I went direct to the tag and I didn't like it. So I switched it, went back to my go-to distress crayons. I think they give a better color. I know there's techniques to using watercolor pencils on paper dolls. I believe you have to add a coating first, maybe a gesso to give it some tooth, because the pencils just didn't grab the color at all. So watercolor crayons, distress crayons to the rescue. Color in the dresses. Add a color that's coordinating for the blouses, and let's color away. I also heat set them in between colors so that it didn't smear off my hand because they were pretty wet since I had already tried with the watercolor pencils. So heat set it to set the color so it doesn't rub off. Okay, more smallpox stickers for a little saying. And then I decided I wanted to lighten this up a little. So I grabbed a lighter color, scattered straw, distress oxide to distress the edges. I did leave the hangover on this tag with the flower. Didn't trim it off. I liked it. There you go. 2 tags in 20 minutes using all the ink and all the sprays. Thanks for watching. Happy crafting.